This is probably the most underrated vegetable in your grocery store. It's cheap. It's everywhere. Most people either ignore it completely or just use it as a soup base and forget about it. But here's what's fascinating. Researchers are now discovering that celery contains a set of compounds that directly target some of the most frustrating things that happen to your body. After 40, chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, hormonal imbalance, bloating, and stubborn belly fat. And no, I'm not talking about some trendy celery juice cleanse. I'm talking about what actually happens, biologically and scientifically, when you make celery a consistent part of your daily diet after 40. Stick with me, because some of what I'm about to share is going to completely change how you look at this humble green stalk. If you're new here, welcome. This channel breaks down real, evidence-based nutrition science for people in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. No fads, no gimmicks. Just what the research actually says. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Now, let's talk celery. Section 1. Why celery hits differently after 40. Most people think of celery as just water and crunch. And honestly, that reputation is one of the biggest nutritional myths out there. Celery contains over 25 anti-inflammatory compounds, including a powerful flavonoid called apigenin, a unique compound called 3N-butyl phthalate, or 3NB for short, plus phthalides, lutein, vitamin K, folate, and potassium. Now here's why all of this matters specifically after 40. Once you cross into your 40s, your body starts producing more pro-inflammatory cytokines. Essentially, your immune system starts creating low-level, chronic inflammation that never fully switches off. Scientists call this inflammaging, inflammation-driven aging, and it is directly linked to heart disease, joint pain, cognitive decline, weight gain, and hormonal disruption. Celery's unique phytochemical profile makes it one of the few whole foods that attacks inflammaging from multiple pathways at the same time. That's what makes it genuinely special for this age group. Section 2. Day by day and week by week, what your body experiences. Days 1 to 3. Bloating drops and digestion shifts. Celery is about 95% water, and it contains a compound called mannitol, a natural diuretic that gently flushes excess fluid from your tissues. Within the first 2 or 3 days of eating celery consistently, most people notice their midsection feels less puffy. Clothes fit a little differently. That persistent bloat starts to ease. This is particularly noticeable for women in perimenopause and menopause, where water retention is a common and frustrating symptom, driven by fluctuating estrogen levels. Beyond the water effect, celery's insoluble. Fiber stimulates gentle movement through your digestive tract, which means better regularity and less of that heavy, sluggish feeling after meals. Week 1 to 2. Blood pressure begins to respond. Here's one of the most clinically validated benefits of celery, and it has to do with that compound. I mentioned earlier 3N-butyl phthalate, or 3NBO. This compound was actually discovered by researchers at the University of Chicago after a patient's father lowered his blood pressure significantly by eating celery every day. 3NB works by relaxing the smooth muscle tissue lining your blood vessels, essentially acting like a natural calcium channel blocker. It widens the vessels, reduces resistance, and blood pressure comes down. Studies show measurable reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure within 1 to 2 weeks of daily celery consumption. For the over 40 population globally, where hypertension affects nearly 1 in 2 adults, this is enormous. Week 2 to 3, joints feel different. Around the 2-week mark, something else begins to shift, and this is the one that surprises people most. Joint stiffness and soreness start to ease. Celery contains lutein and apigenin, 2 flavonoids with direct COX-2 inhibiting activity. COX-2 is the same inflammatory enzyme that ibuprofen targets. Celery does it naturally, without the side effects. For people dealing with early arthritis, post-workout soreness, or the general stiffness that creeps in after 40, this anti-inflammatory effect on joints is one of the most tangible benefits you'll feel. Week 3 to 4, metabolism and weight respond. Celery is famously low in calories, around 10 calories per stalk. But what most people don't realize is that it's also actively metabolically supportive. The fiber content slows glucose absorption, which stabilizes blood sugar and reduces insulin spikes after meals. For people over 40, where insulin sensitivity naturally declines, this matters enormously for fat storage, particularly around the abdomen. A 2023 animal study and several observational studies in humans have pointed to Celery's phthalate compounds as having a mild but real thermogenic and fat metabolism effect. Combined with its filling fiber and high water content, celery is one of the smartest foods you can add to a weight management strategy in midlife. Section 3. Celery in your brain after 40. Let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention: celery and cognitive health. Apigenin, one of celery's primary flavonoids, has been studied extensively for its neuroprotective properties. A landmark study from Harvard Medical School found that apigenin promotes the formation of new neurons, a process called neurogenesis, and strengthens the connections between brain cells. After 40, neurogenesis naturally slows. Memory gets fuzzier. Focus becomes harder to sustain. Brain fog becomes a daily complaint for many people. Celery's apigenin content is among the highest of any common vegetable, making it a genuinely practical tool for brain longevity. Additionally, celery is rich in folate, which helps regulate homocysteine levels. Elevated homocysteine is one of the strongest dietary risk factors for dementia and cognitive decline in middle age. Section 4. Liver, hormones, and longevity. Two more powerful effects that are especially relevant for the 40-plus age group. The liver effect, celery seed extract and celery juice have both shown hepatoprotective, meaning liver-protecting, properties in research. Your liver works harder after 40 to process hormones, detoxify the blood, and regulate metabolism. Celery's flavonoids support liver enzyme function and help reduce fatty liver accumulation, which is now one of the fastest-growing health concerns globally. Among middle-aged adults, the hormonal effect for women. Celery contains phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds, that gently modulate estrogen activity. During perimenopause, when estrogen swings unpredictably, these plant compounds can help soften the peaks and valleys, potentially easing hot flashes, mood swings, and sleep disruption. For men, celery contains androstenone and androstenol compounds that some studies suggest support healthy testosterone and adrenal function. Lower inflammation also directly supports better hormonal output from the adrenal glands. Section 5. Who should be careful? Honest warnings. Now, a few important cautions, because honest information is always the priority here. Celery is high in vitamin K, which plays a key role in blood clotting. If you're on blood-thinning medications like warfarin or Coumadin, eating large quantities of celery could interfere with your dosing. Talk to your doctor before making it a daily staple. Celery is also one of the top 14 major allergens recognized in Europe and parts of Asia. Celery allergy is rare but real, and reactions can be serious. If you've never eaten much celery before, start with a small amount and observe your body's response. And finally, celery from conventional farms is consistently on the high pesticide list. Whenever possible, choose organic celery, especially if you're juicing it. Since you're concentrating everything in the plant, nutrients and pesticides alike. So what does your action plan look like? Start with 2 to 4 stalks per day. That's it. You can eat them raw as a snack, chop them into salads, blend them into smoothies, or cook them lightly into soups and stir-fries. If you want to try celery juice, plain, nothing added, 8 to 12 ounces in the morning, on an empty stomach is how most of the research protocols are structured. But whole celery gives you the fiber too, which is a significant advantage. Give it 3 to 4 weeks of consistency. The blood pressure, bloating, and joint effects tend to be the first things people notice, and they're often dramatic enough to keep you motivated. If this video gave you something useful, please like it and subscribe. It's the best way to support this channel and help us reach more people who need this information. Tell me in the comments, are you already eating celery regularly? And have you noticed any changes? I'd genuinely love to know. See you in the next one. Stay consistent. Small changes, compounded daily, are what actually transform your health.